drunk and dirty. Don't you know? And I was still willing. I was out on the road late at night, seeing my pretty Alice in every headlight. Alice, Dallas Alice. And I've been from Tucson to Tucumcari. The hat should be a town apart. Given every kind of rig that's ever been made. Even the back roads so I wouldn't get way. And if you give me weed, white and wine, and you show me a sign, I'll be willing to be moving. Kicked by the wind, robbed by the sleet, had my head stowed in, but I'm still on my feet and I'm still willing. Now smuggle some smokes and folks from Mexico, baked by the sun, every time I go to Mexico. And I'm still, and I've been from Tucson to Tucumcari. The hat should be the torn apart. Given every kind of rig that's ever been made. Given the back road so I wouldn't get way. And if you give me weed, white and wine, and you show me a sign, I'll be willing to be moving.
Yeah, we like that. We like that. We like that. Let's put something on that I can. A little background stuff here. Bruce Gas, boxing, jazz, and more. We're getting ready for a weekend of kick-ass boxing, but I decided to take a step back in the way back and do a little Joe Frazier tonight. I don't know why I saw a thing on Joe Frazier, came up on my YouTube, and it was his last interview, and I watched it. And I had my Joe Frazier T-shirt on tonight, and I said, "Shit, let me go on here." I didn't see too much going on tonight, so I said, "Let me go on and talk a little bit about Joe Frazier." I see my buddy Mr. Doc out there. Mr. Doc, if you want to come on up here, I know you're a Joe Frazier aficionado, my man. We're gonna get into the legend that was Joe Frazier. Let me see if I can. You know, I first saw Joe Frazier. It was back when he fought a dude named Billy Daniels. You know, anybody that watched boxing in the 60s, the 70s, they'll know who Billy Daniels is, man. He didn't have much of a record, but man, he fought everybody out there. He fought everybody, and I mean, his record is Hall of Fame worthy, mind-boggling. We'll do a few hits on this beautifully clean Toka 2. Oh, Joe Frazier was an amazing fighter, man. No doubt about that. He had a style that I think only Joe Frazier could have got away with his style. Short, crouching, blasting that left hook, blasting that left hook, man. And you know, that's what he lived. He lived and died by that left hook. And we're gonna do a little bit of a little look back on Joe Frazier here, man. We'll go back to Frazier's birth, man. Might as well take it back to the early days, man. You know, Joe Frazier was he was born in January 12th, 1944. And you know who was born today, man? If they come in here at all, I wanna wish him a happy birthday. William Old School on it, man. Anybody sees William Old School out there, man, make sure you wish him a happy birthday because today's his birthday. And he's always supporting the show. Oh, a great guy, great channel. I mean, I don't know if he has a great channel, but he treats me like I have a great channel. So, man, I want to shout out to William Old School. He comes in a lot. He might come in tonight. Who knows, man? You know, who knows? I'm hitting on some Granddaddy Perp over here with a brand new clean Toka 2. I see a buddy of mine just popped in here, man. My good friend, Mr. Doc. How are you, my brother?
Hey, man. What can I say?
What can you say?
You caught me in the middle of loading my bog. That's
I'm glad.
So it must not be too bad, right?
You better be loading that sucker up, Mr. Doc. We're gonna go back and we're gonna
Oh yeah.
Of smoking Joe Frazier. And you know, I thought this about a half hour ago because I'm on him, I'm trolling around, and I don't see much happening. I said, shit, man. Let me go talk about Joe.
I'll be blunt. This is more interesting to me than anything going on right now. I mean, yeah, I'm just saying, bro. Now, I may be biased in that regard. Fair play, but I'm just speaking for myself.
We're judgment free over here, Doc, man. You know, we love Joe. You and I grew up with Joe Frazier, bro. Joe Frazier. When I first got into boxing,
dude, he was in a. Yeah. You couldn't have Muhammad Ali without him. They were like peanut butter and jelly. It was like, you know what I mean? Okay. People think I'm exaggerating sometimes, Bruce, when I say this. You tell me how far I'm exaggerating. I've told people they could have aired. They could have had Ali versus Frazier like literally fight each other every friggin' weekend, and everybody would have tuned in every damned weekend. Now they would have killed each other, but
they're probably fighting each other right now.
The demand that fight that matchup was such money. Check this out. They were trying to the whole purpose behind the rematch between Joe Frazier when he shaved the head and everything, you may recall, right, with Foreman. The whole purpose was if somehow Joe won, they were going to do a fourth Ali fight.
Well, you know, thankfully that was almost Joe's last fight. He had one more after that. He fought this fucking muscle bound character out of Chicago,
Jumbo Cummings. Yeah, Jumbo Cummings.
He looked like he was out of a cartoon right out of a fucking a DC comic. I mean, he was.
Yep.
But it was not.
He nearly knocked out Frank Bruno. And oh God, I cannot remember who it was. Oh, was it Ronaldo Snipes? He bit somebody. He bit somebody in the ring long before Mike Tyson. He bit somebody in the ring.
Yes, I do have a vague recollection of that, man. I do have a vague recollection.
Yeah, Jumbo Cummings. He was a wild man. He was a wild man. He did time in prison and whatnot.
Yep, he was a con. He was a con man. Let's see, man. I can pull up his record over here. We'll see who that fighter was, man. Because he was 15-1 when he fought Joe Frazier. And let's see, man. Who did he fight on national TV? Oh man, look at the names on his record, man. After Frank Bruno, that was his last fight. But before that, he fought a 15-1 Witherspoon. He fought a 10-0 with one draw, Mitch Green, Larry Frazier, Jeff Sims, Smoking Joe, Ronaldo Snipes.
Okay, it was either Snipes or Witherspoon. I'm gonna bet if I had to lay my money, it was either Snipes or Witherspoon.
I think it was Snipes.
And based on I think so too. I want to say it was NBC or CBS. They had because they were doing a lot of shows at the time on whichever channel it was. They were doing a lot of shows. I can't remember which casino it was, but they go ahead.
No, I think it was NBC. Freddie Pacheco.
Yeah, Freddie Pacheco. There you for sure it was Freddie. Okay, yeah. Because the CBS would have been Gil Clancy and I can't remember his name, but that Tim Ryan. There we go. I ain't got complete Alzheimer's yet.
I'll tell you, man. I thought the guy was my uncle. He was in my house twice a week. It seemed. We knew him by name. Those commentators, they were just they were a solid duo, man. You know, Gil Clancy and Tim Ryan, man, and they usually had like either Sugar Ray Leonard in there, or they even Jerry Quarry. I think Quarry was in there a few times. They always have a good color.
Quarry did. He did he was doing the commentary on the American broadcast of the first Ali Spinks on CBS.
I'll tell you, what was the first fight that intrigued? Now, Doc, were you actively participating in the boxing scene when Joe Frazier was fighting?
I was actively watching. The timeline would be this. The first, so just I guess it would be probably about 75 is when I started really okay, this is part of my Saturday routine. Right, yeah. I'm gonna make I made a point. Okay, I want to see who's fighting this week. What's Howard gonna tell us about? What Ali and Frazier are gonna do. You know what I mean? Who they're gonna be fighting next, so on and so forth. I would say that right around that because the first clear fight that I can recall is Ali Ron Lyle on ABC, where I watched it. You know what I mean? Sat down, intentionally watched it, was totally drawn in by it, and kind of that was the proverbial hook in the fish's mouth.
That was all she
wrote, man.
Let me shout out who came in here tonight. Excuse my rudeness, man. That's something I always want to do because, dude, I appreciate it so much when people come listen to us. Oh, we got a couple other people back here, man. Let me is that my brother Terry Smoot out there? Terry, is that you, brother? Anyway, let me shout him out. While I'm still standing over here. Carl, my brother Carl Hunter. Carl, the crocodile Hunter Hansen out there in fucking Australia, my brother. And Paul is in here, man. Shout out to you. Mr. Doc is here. Oh, Mr. Doc is in here. I'm sorry, man. My brother Toby Bartlett, man. Thank you for coming by. Skull Asylum. Pleasure, my man. And John McSmith, a fucking Joe Frazier fan from way back, who thinks Joe Frazier would beat Ali in the fourth encounter. But shout out to my bro John Smith. And Pigeon is here. Woohoo! Raise the flag. Black and Brown, my brother, man. Shout out to you, bro. Peace. Don't want to miss anybody. Appreciate that chatter going on in there, man. Keep it going. Two Matador, man. Shout out to you, Carlos Mendoza. Peace, my bro. Peace. All right. Hey, Terry Smoot, is that you?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me, Bruce?
Yeah, how you doing, my brother?
No, I'm doing great. How you doing, man? And how's Mr. Doc doing as well?
Hey, I'm doing great myself. How are you? Good to hear you're doing okay. Yeah.
Slugger Sam, shout out to you, bro. We're gonna talk about some Joe Frazier. We've been talking about him for a minute over here for a little bit. And Terry, what's your impression of Joe Frazier?
Dude, Joe Frazier, I want to say he's probably top 4, top 5 of my personal heavyweights. And I believe he won gold in Tokyo. It was a gold medalist. And then he only lost to 2 fighters. He only lost to Ali and Foreman. He just lost to them twice. I mean, he's 32-4 as a record. You already know he stopped Muhammad Ali, and then he had serious hooks. Even though he was a little bit shorter than like your typical heavyweight, but he had smoke. Those fists, he had smoke. So I mean, he also stopped one of my favorite light heavyweights of all time, Bob Foster. He stopped him too. So I mean, I have nothing but praise. I consider him one of my favorites. Like you could put him almost in like any decade, and he would definitely be a champion to me.
Absolutely, absolutely. What's your favorite Joe Frazier fight?
I guess it would have to be that Ali 3 one because I think that was the mystery, or I think the one where they didn't go into the they didn't have the 15th round. I think it stopped where
The
he
Thriller and
quit on
Mandela.
where he quit with 1 round to go, and it was like we wondered what could have happened. Like, why did you stop? But I mean, sometimes maybe you hit the wall, maybe sometimes you get gassed, but that's probably my most favorite one, just because they call it like the unknown round. So, but
Well,
besides that,
Joe didn't quit that fight. Eddie Futch, his trainer, stopped didn't want him to go out there again, and Joe said, "Come on." Joe's last words in that fight were, "Come on, boss, let me go out there." He said, "You don't have to go out there, Joe. You prove something to the world tonight. It's going to be carved in history." And it was, bro. It was, man.
not funny. And then
Yeah,
I
you're
just
right.
like
That was Eddie. That was Eddie.
Yeah, yeah, and then I just like this personality, even though him and Muhammad Ali got into it in one of the interviews, and but then after that, like they actually became very friendly, and I think I've seen a few roundtable interviews where they had Ali, Frazier, and Foreman all sitting down on the same couch. So like he had a personality with them, like even though he was mean in the ring, all besides that, I really can say nothing wrong, nothing bad about him. Excellent fighter. He just lost the 2 men. You know, they just had the upper arms. I mean, the upper hand. But remember, all 3 of them were Olympic gold medalists for the United States: George Foreman, Ali, and Joe Frazier. So, I mean, that's a little bit of boxing royalty here for America. So, I really have nothing bad to say about him. Hall of Famer to the most. You know, everything else like that. He's got his respect. He should get a little bit more. But then we need to shed light on a few other great boxers. But he was to me he was the truth back then. So I just wanted to give my little bit of respect. You know, give my little bit of insight, and you know I got him top. He's definitely top 5 on my list of all time heavyweights. He's up there with Foreman. He's up there with Muhammad Ali. Um, I'm gonna debate about the other 2 because one of them I do got to put Jack Johnson up there because without him breaking that color barrier, you know, people like me, we wouldn't really have that shot. So I got to put Jack Johnson in there just because of, and then Joe Louis. Joe Louis was also a serious fighter too.
Bro, there's so many great fighters, great heavyweights, man. Regardless of eras, Joe Frazier would have fit in any era.
Yes.
He was a hustler. He was a killer. And man, you know, all the ones you named, they're all Mount Rushmore of boxing. Hey, Toby Bartlett, thank you for coming by, man. Appreciate it. Jeff Lucietta, my brother. Coco the Bulldog, I appreciate you coming by, man. Demetrius Bright, shout out to you, man. Shout out to you. Appreciate you guys coming in, man. Yeah. Rehashing the career, our memories of the great Joe Frazier.
No, I just wanted to say that little piece, and I'll be back in the chat. But thank you for letting me up, Bruce Gaston. Shout out to you, and also shout out to Mr. Doc. I hope you guys have a great evening, sirs.
God bless you, Terry.
Yeah,
Thank
you
you
too, man.
coming
You
in.
too, man.
Yes, sir.
I'll tell you, Doc, when I got my first taste of Joe Frazier, I had watched him a little bit on television, but I was not an avid boxing fan. I think I know it was the fight, but I'm thinking the year. I think it was 1970 when he fought Jimmy Ellis for the for the undisputed. It was February 16th, 1970. And you know, I caught that fight on the radio. You remember that one, Doc? Doc must be hitting on his bong over there. But yeah, man. See, I was at home.
I didn't see. I'm sorry. I forgot I was muted. I'm sitting here going, "Hey."
I've done that so
No,
many times.
well, I know. I do not have a real time. Yeah, I do not have a real time memory. I was about 2, so I can't say that. But I mean, obviously, I've seen the fight, you know, a ton, and well aware of it.
You know,
in fact, I think we watched it the other day.
I forget people aren't as old as I am, man. It's like, man, you know, I talk to 30-year-old guys and tell them, hey, you remember that Ali fight, man? You remember that Thriller in Manila? And they're looking at me like, Grandpa, I wasn't even a twinkle in my daddy's eye in 1971.
Bruce used to hang out with Methuselah.
Well, sometimes it seems that way, bro. Sometimes it seems that way, but this fight was on a school night. It was on I believe it was on a Monday night. You know, Monday nights that was not out of the ordinary, man. The Olympic Auditorium in Los Angeles, wasn't it? Monday night at the Olympic, wasn't that how they?
Wait. The undisputed Joe Frazier, Jimmy. I thought that was MSG.
That was MSG. But I'm just I was just talking about why the fights have to be on a Saturday. Like this Saturday, man, they got us jammed, and I thought they had spaced it out, but PBC is going to put the undercard on free starting at 7:00. The main event's not coming on till midnight, and in between that is the Cambosos and Ryan and fucking damn, I just had a brain fart. And
Haney.
And that fight's going to be in between there, so they're going to make us be going back and forth and 3 screens and all this other bullshit. Yeah. Lance Meyer, salute my brother, salute. But yeah, Lance remembers that, bro. He's an OG. But anyway, man, that was 1970, and I was a junior in high school, and bro, I laid in bed. I had an FM radio, and I saw it was on WPR AM radio rather. And it was one of the last fights that they did blow by blow on the radio. You know, I think Dunphy was the announcer of it. But I was in the dark in my bedroom. I had the radio on and I'm listening to it. And they're saying how well Jimmy Ellis did. In fact, why don't we throw that fight on? It's such a good fucking fight, bro.
Sure. Why not?
I'll put it on the screen with no volume on, so we don't get in any kind of trouble, and we can see this fight. This is the one that I like I said, bro. I saw this fight and I listened to it on the radio. All right, there we go, man. Yeah, I was fucking starting right away. Joe Frazier in those dark trunks.
Check out the sideburns on Jimmy Ellis.
Yeah. Lamb chops, mutton chops.
Styling, man. My man, styling.
See, Jimmy Ellis was a great boxer. He boxed with Muhammad Ali in Louisville, Kentucky. And he basically had this title because Ali was in fucking, he was in self-imposed, and not unself-imposed, retirement, whatever we want to call it, suspension. He was in limbo.
Exile, as they say.
Exile, there we go. That's the word I was looking for.
Well, yeah, he won it in a tournament. Like, it's some pretty good competition. Let's see, I'm trying to remember. If I can remember, it was him, Floyd Patterson, Jerry Quarry, and Bonavina.
That was a tournament.
Yep. And they had the rematch, I want to say. It turned the Quarry Patterson, they actually, the first time, they had to fight twice because the first one was controversial.
Yep. That was
actually that's an underrated sorry, real quick for while I'm thinking about it, for those listening, that's an underrated set of fights to go watch. That WBA tournament between them four.
Well, Frazier wouldn't even go in the tournament. They wanted him in there, and he said, "I'm not going in there. I've beaten I'm the champion." He was the WBA champ at the time.
Well, the NSAC at the time. What turned into it basically became the WBC, I think.
The WBC actually followed NISAC.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weird. I understood it once. I can't really explain it now. But the WBA was. I think the WBA was only recognized in 6 states, or was it NISAC that was?
That's the thing. It gets the whole thing. It's understandable, man. It's confusing stuff. I don't. I just
brother. Yeah. Andrew Charles, man, salute, bro. But what I do remember is Joe Frazier was considered to be the best heavyweight out there, but the belt and the man who went through the tournament, Jimmy Ellis, was what was equally impressive at the time, bro. I mean, it was definitely this was a fight where it was on the line. Frazier was favored, but Jimmy Ellis put on a hell of a fight, and he went toe to toe with Frazier in this fight, as we're going to see.
Yeah, he is doing pretty good so far.
He's got the Ali style in there. You can tell he's definitely copied off him. But Joe Frazier did not like Jimmy Ellis. The fight before this, Frazier fought Jerry Quarry, I think, and Jimmy Ellis was in the ring, and Joe Frazier, Howard Cosell wanted to get him to do a little dual interview, and Frazier said, "I'm not going to stay on stage with this phony champ," and he walked away.
Now here's another often overlooked aspect of Jimmy Ellis's heavyweight career. He started at middleweight as a pro. So this is a guy that came up from middleweight, right? And went through a tournament of, at least 4 or 3 other top 10 heavyweights, you know what I mean, of the time, and managed to win it.
And this fight was actually the last time that they recognized NYSAC, because like you said, the WBC incorporated, when the WBC belt was on the line in this fight too. So it was a lot of politicking going on. But the thing that they did, though, man, they cleared up the situation in the ring like it should be cleared up. We didn't have to wonder who the best heavyweight was. They weren't like fucking.
Yeah.
It's a mess now. But see, look at Jimmy Ellis is doing really well here.
Oh yeah, try to get 4 top 10 heavyweights into a tournament, right? even with because at the time 50% of the championship essentially, right? There was basically 2 belts. Let's say 2 belts, right? I bet you even with 2 belts, you couldn't get you know what I mean? You'd be having to really scrape the bottom, try and find.
Now, who promoted these? Was it Madison Square Garden that put this tournament together?
Oh gosh, I have no idea now about that. That's a good question. That's a really good question, as a matter of fact, because that's pre-Don King.
Mm-hmm. Let's see if we can find it. If I can find it, I'll go in my little thing here and see the promoter. Oh, this fucking thing.
Jimmy Ellis complaining to the ref about Frazier using his head.
I can't find a promotional company there.
Yeah, it was probably multiple promoters, I reckon.
Yeah, because I don't think Don King was on the scene yet.
Nope. I don't think Aaron was either.
I think Don King was probably doing time.
Or if Aaron was on the scene, he was just starting, because because you got to remember, he's still working for the government around the time of the second Ali listed fight.
Probably the fucking mafia.
Well, we all know some kind of mafia, or something that you could say is analogous to a mafia was involved in some capacity. It's boxing.
Well, I mean, those were the days of, who was it? Cabo?
Oh yeah, Blinky
Palermo.
Yeah.
And fucking Cabo, man, that was when the fighters fought. Picasso, my brother, shout out to you, man. Peace, thank you for coming by, bro. Appreciate it. We're watching the greatness of Joe Frazier. What the fuck was that? Something in my kitchen just fell down. I didn't hear anything go smash, so it's cool. Maybe one of those big water rats coming up. I don't know, man. I'll have to go in. I think the dog would have been out getting it. Although I have him locked up in his bedroom, so who knows, man. But we got Joe Frazier definitely doing the stalking here. And Jimmy Ellis, as much as he's firing, he's not hurting Frazier.
Yeah, and I was just about to say, to me, this is the first round where Jimmy looks like he's starting to slow down. He's still hitting Joe, but Joe's finally starting to get to him a bit this round.
Joe is not a fast starter.
No, he's a notorious slow starter.
Oh, that left hook. Oh! Here comes his famous bomb over here.
Oh, nice upper left hook, right? Yeah, left hook to the body. Going for the kill.
Jimmy Ellis is hanging tough, and this was the day like they did not stop a fight prematurely, as we're gonna see.
Oh, those body shots, man! Those bodies killing Ellis with the body shots, Bruce.
I saw an interview with Joe Frazier, and they were asking about why he had that style. Why did he get so close? Oh, look at this, man! Oh, he's killing him, man. Because he was blind in one eye. He said that, and he was showing how he passed the eye tests. They'd be in the at the physical before the fight, and they would say, "Okay, put your right hand over your right eye." And he'd do that. And then they'd say, "Can I put your left hand over your left eye?" And he put his left hand over his right eye. And he said he just did it so fast, nobody ever questioned him. He was blind in one eye, and he had to get in closer. He couldn't see his opponent.
Oh. Yeah. See, he wanted to have. Yeah, he's got that Philly style. He wants to have his head in your chest, like Benny Briscoe used to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep, look at that, man. Nope, the round is over. And Angelo Dundee is in his corner, too.
Man, I mean, you can't question Ellis's guts. I gotta give him that.
Not at all. Angelo Dundee with hair on his head. I think we're right around the beginning of the end for the Jimmy Ellis. Yeah, round 4. This was the round. Yeah, Joe in his prime. Jimmy's trying to hold on.
He just can't deter him, like you said, man. He can't discourage Joe.
Nope. No, he's a mad bull, and he's. I mean, dude, this is 1970. Let's see. Joe's exactly 10 years older than me. In 1970, I was 16, so Joe would be 26 years old.
Yeah, he's right in his prime here.
Right in his prime, right in the wheelhouse.
Oh, he's killing Ellis to the body. He's killing him to the body.
Yeah, Ellis is. I think he's resigned to the fact that he's going to catch a beating. I think he's just looking to cover up. He's pouring with his jab now. Oh, he just threw a nice right hand. But
Yeah,
Joe,
still trying, but even though he knows he's probably going to get knocked out. Oh, that was a nice left hook. Oh, but yeah, he's getting a beating. He's getting a beating. Yeah, he's just trying to catch Joe with a lucky punch at this point.
yeah, and this made him oh man, he's just beat.
Oh, he's just going to town now.
Like a side of beef.
Yeah.
Pulling a Rocky.
Look at the guts on Ellis still throwing punches. What's wrong with you? Oh, dude. He's getting
I don't think it ends right there though. I think he gets up and takes another hellacious beating.
Yeah, the beating's not over, people.
Look at the referee. Just come on, let's go. This is Madison Square Garden. You got another 14 rounds. Another 11 rounds to go. Oh, and Frazier's just
I mean, hey, Ellis isn't running. Yeah, that's that's what he gets for it, right?
I don't even think that's the last one. It might be, but I can't see how he's going to get up and continue fighting.
I think what happens is he makes it, and I think they stop it between rounds. I think.
Yeah. Because how is he? How can you recuperate from that in 1 minute?
I mean but that's twice, my man. Looks like he you know what I mean? Where like you said, nowadays most refs would have waved it off the first time with the first one when he's face down. But they would have waved it off right there. Crumbles like this.
In sections. Joe just turned around. Yeah, but Angelo was saying no. I remember listening to this sucker. And no. Arthur McCanty, is that the referee?
Yep. Now Jimmy don't want to quit, but and
that's
Freddie and Angelo. They got to tell him, like we were saying earlier about what happened to Joe. You know what I mean? That's you know what I mean. That's the way it was. That was the corners had to tell him. No, you done it.
You remember when Joe Frazier was on the Battle of the Network Stars? Were you?
No. In fact, I don't know that I've even seen that. That's interesting.
Hey, Pound, salute, man. Oh yeah, I would love to see if I could find that. That would be a trip, man. Let's see. Let me see if I can dig this up. Hang on 1 second. Yep, I think it's it says Battle of Network Stars. I think we may have it in here. I think this is it, man.
Oh, this should be interesting.
For the final, along with the fastest of the 2 third-place finishers. In other words, 5 men will move on to the final. Let's check the first heat starters now. Swimming in lane number 1 from the racing circuits of the world, this is Peter Revson, sports car champion and former winner of the pole position for the Indianapolis 500. Swimming in lane 2, we're going to have the 3-time winner of Olympic gold medals in Grenoble 1968. You, of course, remember the great skiing champion Jean-Claude Killy of France. Lane 3 here, Bob Seacon. He's the world record holder still in the pole vault event. Recently turned professional with the International Track Association. That circuit will be beginning very soon. Rounding out the
Here we go.
Champion of the world, here is Joe Frazier. These four going, two of them will qualify for the final, and possibly the third finisher on a time basis.
This is hilarious, Doc. I haven't seen this in fucking 40 years.
This will just be 2 lanes of the pool. It's a 25-meter pool, kind of an unusual length. Usually it's either 50 meters or 25 yards. But this is 25 meters, down and back. They will go. Okay.
Oh, no.
Battling for the lead. Repson moving up strong, however. And Joe Frazier is well back. Doesn't look like Joe's going to make it into the finals of this event. Here they come, swimming for home now, and it's Peter Repson who had a fantastically good turn. Repson with a great turn, taking the lead, but here comes Seaburn and Keeley both after him. It's going to be a great battle for second.
Come on, Joe.
It's going to be the winner. It's Repson the winner. Jean-Claude Keeley second, and Bob Seaburn third. Now look at Joe Frazier. He just got to the other end of the pool, but he's going to come back. And you think he's kidding? He isn't kidding. The competitive spirit of these men has been one thing we've noticed all week. I'm absolutely sure you're going to be seeing it in these events. They aren't kidding. They're here to win. There's a lot of money at stake. There's the winner, though. Peter Repson. People of all ages, as you can see, have come here from all over the state of Florida to watch the events, and there's a novel aspect to that, too. This is a mobile, a moving crowd. From one scene to the next. Watch the event.
I think there's a little more about, a little more happens on here.
Nothing new to them.
There's Joe. You're all looking at
him. Heat number 2 in the swimming competition at Superstars in Rotunda, Florida. It's going to be a long competition for these fellas. Swimming in lane 1 is Rod Gilbert, the hockey star of the New York Rangers. He played a game last night in New York. Flew all night to get here. He's had no sleep, but he's still competing. Looks pretty good. 22, Johnny Bench, the most valuable player of the National League, star of the Cincinnati Reds. Swimming in lane 3 from Australia, all-time great tennis champion. This is Rod Laver. I think Laver's going to surprise you with his all-around athletic ability. I don't know about swimming, but he has a number of good sports. And look who's here. Swimming in lane 4, rounding out this field, Johnny Unitas, San Diego Chargers.
I thought there was a little more about Frazier in there, but as you can see, he didn't do too well.
Yeah, that, like someone said, not his skill. That's not his skill.
No, definitely not his skill. Not his skill. This was
Right. I was there that night. It was some fight. Now, for the moment some of us have been waiting for, will you welcome 2 gentlemen named Joe Frazier and Muhammad Ali. Well, what should we talk about? Certainly nice to see you both, and I think we might as well reveal right now that beneath the mask of unfriendliness that we saw in the film, that down deep you really hate each other. Is this or is this not true?
I don't hate Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier don't hate me. Joe Frazier's got to take care of himself. I got to take care of mine when the bell rang. And I will admit, just like it's on now, we are really stone enemies when the bell rang. And after the fight, I have nothing against him. Or one day I like my little children to play with his little children.
Isn't that adorable?
That don't mean to say that I'm going to think about that. When the bell rang, he will be in trouble.
Yeah, the film, I swear you said I don't like him at all in that film we did earlier. I said, was that just, were you joking then or now?
Well, I mean, what are you doing, agitating?
I wouldn't do a thing like
This
that.
has been the history of America. You just love to see two colored folks beat up each other. We had agitating. trying to get us fight. We don't fight. You don't have to agitate. The rumble is on. We don't get along, so we gonna get it on. He thinks he's the best, so he's gonna jump in my chest. So you don't have to try to agitate and push it on no power unless you want us to start now, and you might get hit in the middle.
Are you reading that off something?
Real me, see too. Salute.
That was pretty good.
Looking back to the last fight, you think that you still won that fight?
The last fight, look, I don't like to be what they call a sore loser, call brag and talk about losing. You know, it's up to the people. I think I won. I think I landed more punches. I think he was in worse physical shape. I got knocked down. Henry Cooper knocked me down. Sonny Banks knocked me down. Joe Johnson knocked me down. Alan Hustle in the Olympics knocked me down. Joe Lewis got knocked down. Max Mellon, Sugar Ray. That's all I did knock down. He's been out.
But he's saying that he won the fight.
I know. I believe I won the fight. I believe I won the fight.
How many times you look at the fight?
About 5.
Look at it Sunday?
We'll see. We forget the fight, Joe. We're gonna meet again.
You better believe it. We will meet again.
And I'm saying just bought a big old pretty mean coat. It was all in the newspapers. You have a $10,000
I got backstage.
I saw that. You did buy
a
it.
big old diamond ring, and I want you to get you a new trade after this game and learn to play.
You can tell Joe's a little serious. He's smiling, but
yeah. He's
and then pretty diamonds and get on out and do a little playing. You gonna leave the ring.
I'll say something for you.
You started off. Get away.
Whenever you come down where I'm at, I'll take care of you. Make sure
But I want to give Joe credit. Honest, all sincerity, something I never said. I got to admire this man to be where he is today, to have went as long as he did, as good as he did, plus knocking me down, to get his ranking with no style.
How you like that?
No, I mean,
you can't help it, Danny.
The boxing style, like Joe Frazier. You'll never see Joe Frazier jabbing and faking and backing up, moving.
Oh man, you got a surprise coming. You got a surprise coming. You wait till the 28th.
How you gonna teach your old dog new tricks? How you gonna learn some new tricks?
Call him an old dog.
No, you got to agitate. I didn't say that.
No, he called you. I heard it. Didn't he say it?
But you didn't call me a dog, so you can't teach
He said an old dog, new tricks. He calls you a bear half the time. He told me at the camp that you sleep with a teddy bear in your bed. Now, I don't make these things up, you know.
That's what he said.
This guy tells me this.
Let's be friends for 1 minute just to get in.
No. This is my quick.
Let's show him what? Show him how to do it.
What show you gonna get?
Let me tell you something. Oh, no. Let me tell you something.
Wait, can I say something? I must
I'm gonna tell you one thing. All of the brothers out there watching television, I don't care how mad y'all at each other, when it comes to one of these fellas trying to divide us, we must unite. Oh, no, wait a minute. Wait. That was not in the script. That was my idea.
I saw that up on the screen. It looked like a giant Oreo cookie. We'll be back after the
Well, Dick Cavett just got himself canceled nowadays.
bro, that was if you can remember. I know you were a little kid, but man, the fucking country was in total turmoil for that fight, for the Thriller in Manila, and for the first fight, fucking Ali and Frazier, the fight of the century, I believe it was called. Man, it was people who wanted to stop the Vietnam War against the people who wanted to escalate the Vietnam War. The country was fucking.
It was basically the hippies and the hard hats. The hard hats is what they called them.
Yes,
we'll say like you said, the ones that
they had riots in the streets. They used to meet the fucking billy clubs and baseball bats. It was fucking blood. I mean, dude, it was crazy shit. It was It tore the whole country apart. Everybody knew this fight was the most popular heavyweight fight. The only one I saw like it was Holmes and Cooney in my lifetime that I saw. But it was but it was even bigger because Ali was just the whole.
Although that one in hindsight we realize now it was a bit artificial because Don King and the Rappaports had plotted like as deliberately as can be with each other that we're going to totally play this race angle.
Orchestrated. Right?
Yes, exactly. Jerry Cooney and Larry for that matter. The fighters didn't want any part of it, but it was almost out of their hands. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I was lucky. I saw Joe Frazier twice. I never saw him fight. I saw him once. He was at the Providence Civic Center. When I saw Vinny Pazienza, he took on Joe Frazier Jr. I think his name was Hector Frazier, but he was a tough little Philadelphian until he lost to Mike Mungin. You remember him, Mike the Machine Gun Mungin?
Oh wow! Deep cuts with the Bruce with the deep cuts.
But anyway, he was at the Civic Center. Civic Center was packed, biggest crowd they ever had there. And this is when they had Elvis there, fucking Frank Sinatra, Andre the Giant, everything. Vinny Paz packed that joint. People were being turned away, which is so rare for boxing in Rhode Island. But he beat the shit out of Joe Frazier's kid, Hector Frazier. And Joe was in that ring, man. I saw Joe Frazier in a different light. I saw him like the father, Joe the father, trying to comfort his kid after in hostile territory. But he was still pimping it though. He still fucking had his polyester greens on and the lapels. He was looking sharp.
Nice.
And I saw him one other time, bro. I saw him in my hometown, not my hometown, but the town I live in now. He played at a fucking motel with Joe Frazier in the Knockouts.
Oh, you saw his musical act, huh?
The musical act, yep. It was only about $4 to get in or something like it. It was real cheap. And I can't remember if it was 74, 75, 76, but it was right around that time. And man, he was so bad.
I've heard it was terrible, which is why I'm always blown away by. I mean, keep in mind it's Joe Frazier, right? How well he does when he does the national anthem for the Ali Spinks rematch.
We're definitely going to have to find a little Joe Frazier to put on here until I can go back and dig my.
South Carolina's Joe Frazier is the youngest of 7 brothers in a family of 13 children. In the 1964 Olympics at Tokyo, Frazier won all 4 Olympic bouts, beating Germany's Hans Huber in the final for the Olympic heavyweight crown. Tomorrow night, Joe fights Jimmy Ellis for the World Heavyweight Championship at Madison Square Garden. But right now, here he is with the Knockout singing Knock on Wood. So let's have
a really big shoe.
I don't want to lose this good thing.
Fucking Jumping Joe.
That was cool, man.
how do you feel in the eve of a fight?
Sometimes you get a little nervous, like more, ready to go, and
Well, that's when
by the time you get in the ring and throw a punch, everything's all over.
It was wonderful to have you here tonight, and every fine wish in the fight.
Thank you, Tony.
Kick ass. Right here.
All right, I got a couple possible suggestions, Bruce. Unless you got something in mind.
Wait a minute, I can't put this on this. I gotta put the copyright stuff on. There we go. Stuff I don't get in trouble for playing. Shoot, Doc.
Let's see. Well, you could go the first Joe Frazier Bonavita fight, or you could go Joe Frazier versus Joe Bugner.
I like the Bonavita fight, man. That was controversial.
Three championship Joe Frazier on the come up.
Okay, here we are.
There's another guy that gets kind of underrated. Is Bonavina, man. He was a bad dude. He was no joke.
No way. He was about as tough as they come.
Classic Argentinian. He just happened to be a heavyweight.
When I was reading about this fight, it actually said that this was for the WBC championship. Did Ali have his title? Did Ali have a title in this fight? Oh, this was before the fight, wasn't it?
Oh, this is before Joe's even champion. This is before Joe's even champion. Here, I'll look up the exact time frame. But this is Joe's champion.
I cut it myself over here. This was in 1968. Yeah, December 1968. So almost 69. But this was for the New York State Athletic Commission heavyweight title. So this was basically a championship.
First one.
Yep. And this was New York State Athletic Commission. And he carried those titles when he fought Jerry Quarry. It was the first time it was New York State Athletic Commission too. But man, these are the kind of fights we don't see anymore. We never see fights like this anymore. This was I'll bet it was on a weekday too.
No, Bruce Gass, the one I'm talking about is 1966, September 1966. Yes, sir.
This must be the 66 fight then.
Yeah, this is the rematch. What we got here? 68 is the rematch.
Oh, when is this? This might be 66. I'm not even sure, man.
Oh, okay.
We'll see if Frazier gets knocked down. Because this looks like 66 to me. But 66 and 68, man, what was the difference, right?
Right. Yeah, because it's hard to say. I'm pretty sure they're both in black and white, but yeah.
You know, the thing today, when fighters have rematches, even if it takes a year, there won't be any fights in between. They just
you already see right away what we were talking about the other day, Bruce Gass. There's been a couple clinches, but the ref hasn't had to do anything. They know. See,
they push clinches. Yeah. They fight out of clinches.
Mm-hmm.
And they say Oscar Bonavina was about the dirtiest fighter around too. They say he was a rough,
very rough and crude.
Behind the head.
But hey, he was what would you call it? He was like one of those, B-level fighters, the kind of guys you got to have to make a division really, really good.
Very popular. Very popular.
Yeah, very popular.
Hey, just too, man. Salute my brother.
They called him Ringo. Because some people thought he looked like Ringo Starr.
Absolutely, man. When he fought Muhammad Ali, that was there was a lot of joy going.
Gave him hell, dude. He gave Ali hell. If I remember right, in fact, I don't know about the official cards, but like Cosell was like, hey, he's got to be behind. He was thinking Ali was behind when Ali knocked him out in the 15th.
What was that? Ali's second fight after the comeback too, wasn't it?
Yeah. If you go look at that, speaking of time frames, it's almost, I want to say it's like barely a year from the time he fights Quarry to the time he fights Joe Frazier for the undisputed championship.
Yep. Everybody would say way too fast.
Yeah.
That's because you went with him and all. Okay, here we go. This is the knockdown round. I think this is the first fight.
Yeah. Okay. In his younger days, you see Joe actually, look at that. He's showing that Olympic pedigree, throwing that jab. He's actually throwing the jab,
Yeah, that's one thing you don't see him do too much. Mostly it's inside. But you're right though. This was early on in his career.
Oh, yeah, 1-2 from Joe, in fact.
Mm.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, hey, he's a gold medalist, so he's got to be a better boxer than Bonavina. No matter how, you know what I mean. No matter how.
Oh, he's only 22 years old in this fight.
Oh wow! Think about that. Fighting an animal like Bonavina. That's another thing. Not happening today, brother. Not happening.
That'd be like putting Richard Torres in the ring with fucking Luis Ortiz, you know?
Yep. Something like that.
Anything could happen, but would they do it?
Oh!
Yep.
Oh! Sneaky right hand by Bonavina. Oh, left hook.
Hello.
Took out Bonavina. Bonavina, in fact, he thinks he's winning. He's going to win.
I bet there is a 3 knockdown rule here. I don't know, but we're not listening to it. But makes me wonder.
Wow! Bubble again. Wow, I mean, it's been a while since I watched it. When have you ever seen Joe Frazier hang on like that to survive? Oh, there he's fighting back finally.
He almost looked like it was George Foreman. You know, the way he had him. Well, nobody has ever had Frazier.
Oh, the way he was running in place when he got up. Yeah. I see what you mean.
But he definitely had him. That's probably the most hurt Frazier's ever been. But you look at the fucking guys that he fought in his, coming up in his fucking career, bro. I mean, the fucking the George Chavalos, the fucking Eddie Masons.
Yep.
Fucking, I mean, all those Buster Mathis, all the guys we were watching the other day. Fucking Jimmy Ellis, man, we just saw it, Quarry.
Yeah, Mathis Senior. That's where he first won the NSAC title, right?
Yeah, well, that's where that was the rematch from the Olympics.
The Olympic trial. He got revenge, if memory serves.
And look at Joe Frazier gives him a cap saying, I'm still around. And Oscar's going back to the corner like, oh boy. And we know Joe Frazier comes to life after
right. Yep.
Yeah, Oscar, man, he died a crazy violent death too. Didn't he get shot at a whorehouse?
Yeah. It was like, I want to say it was the Mustang Ranch. He kept coming on the property and just like he would just, you know what I mean, like go into like the women's like they had their little rooms or shacks or whatever. Like he owned the place. And like I mean, they told like the owner like comes out and tells him to leave, and he's like, "Nah, I do what I want," basically. And it's like, bruh, and they finally get him off there, and basically, if memory serves, the security. He basically told security if he shows up again, shoot him. And he showed up again, wouldn't leave. Was outside the gates being belligerent, and they shot him. That was the end of Bonavina, man.
And he was young too. He was under 30. He was in his 20s, wasn't he?
Or if he early 30s, maybe. Early 30s, maybe. Because I want to say this would have been like 74, 75-ish that he died. Maybe earlier. I don't know. But I'm just guessing here on the date.
I'll go look it up. It's easy enough to find.
Yeah, like you said, crazy death. But he was, by all accounts, a crazy person outside the ring. Oh, man, they both of this trading vicious hooks. Nice body shot by Joe. Oh, man. That's that jab again from Joe. I actually think it's a mistake for Bonavina to try to box with Joe. He seems to do better when he just, you know what I mean, goes in there and lets his hands go and brawls with him. I know that sounds counterintuitive, but yeah, because Joe's a better boxer. When he tries to jab with him, Joe's beating him. You know what I mean? He's outboxing him.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right
No,
there
he was raw strength. He was in that era with Chevalo and Corey. He was like he had like a little bit of each one of them in him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just jabbed
it says in here, Doc.
Yeah.
On May 22nd, 1976, Bonavina was shot dead at the age of 33 by a security guard at the Mustang Ranch near Reno, Nevada, after becoming involved in a conflict with its owner. His body was returned to Argentina to lay in state in Luna Park in Buenos Aires, where 150,000 people filing biographies.
Wow. Think about that. 150,000 people. So how big of a rock star was he in Argentina?
Yep.
I didn't realize that part of it. I mean, I guess if you had asked me, you think Bonavina was, popular in Argentina, I would have been like, yeah, but I wouldn't have thought that big of a star. Damn.
Yeah,
Then again, I guess all these guys were kind of rock stars, weren't they? The Ron Lyles, the Jerry Quarries, you know what I mean? Even the guys that didn't hold titles, a lot of them were rock stars. I bet Chevalo, now that I bet he was a rock star in Canada.
rolling with the punches, my bro. Salute. But you know what the sad thing was, man? They were rock stars, but their money went so fast, man. Like Joe Frazier, he basically died in poverty.
Pretty much. I mean, I don't even know. I can't name anybody for sure hasn't ended up like that, from that era. To be honest with you, there may be guys, but I you know what I mean. I can't name them off the top of my head. I can name a lot, like you said, that ended up in poverty, or you know what I mean, really in tough situations. I guess. I mean, other than like his health, but in terms of like, I know Ernie moved to England. He seemed to be like okay, but certainly not rich the way he should have been. You know what I mean? Certainly not. That's even if you got out, you know what I mean, where you could survive, right?
Well, a lot of these guys, they just had shitty fucking representation. Their wives took them over the fucking coals, took them for half. Like Joe Frazier. He lived in his gym. His wife got the money, the fucking house, the cars. Joe got the gym, and Joe, I'll never forget reading the article about him warming a can of fucking Campbell soup on a hot plate for his dinner.
They showed that. There's a documentary. I can't remember which one where they show that. It's so sad to see, man. It's like, dude, this guy should be. Somebody should be taking care of that. Are you telling me in a country of this many rich people, we don't have one rich boxing fan that at the time could have come in and said, hey, Joe, you know what? Because that used to actually happen. Like Joe Louis back in the day, right? Granted, a lot of them were maybe yeah, exactly. They would, no, Joe will take care of it for, you know what I mean, for his meals or whatever the case, right? Or he might have like a bill or whatever, and they, you know what I mean. There were people that would, you know what I mean, take an interest in kids. Like, I was there. Where was Joe's Frakes and Hunter? That's what I don't understand that. How do you not have somebody that, you know what I mean? It's kind of shocking. It's kind of shocking.
And he died real fast too. He was diagnosed late in September with liver cancer. And he died in November, early in November, in a hospice care. So it overtook him. He was only, I think he was 68 when he died. 66. He was right around my age, what I am now.
That's like it's just terrible because that guy should have been royal. I mean, he was royalty, boxing royalty. That's boxing royalty.
No, man, when you talk about Philadelphia, all those fighters, as soon as you mention Joe Frazier, everybody's got a Joe Frazier story, and everybody's got a favorite Joe Frazier fight. I mean, the dude is. I had nothing to do here, and I said, Joe Frazier's show worthy, man. Let's go talk about Joe Frazier. I thought about you, Doc. I was gonna send an email, but I just didn't even have time, so I didn't even put I didn't put much thought into it.
Yeah, I was when I saw the link in the chat. I was like, oh crap! I was like, you caught me off guard. It took me a minute to.
Organic, well, this is grassroots stuff.
Right on. That's the way it should be.
Yep.
Yeah, see, look at this. See, Bonavina is getting the play taken away because he's trying to box. See, he's trying to, take center ring, trying to use the jab, right? And he's not fighting on the inside like he was earlier when he dropped Joe. It had him hurt. Yeah. Oh, wow. Ooh, I think Bonavina felt that.
I think so. Man, Oscar, wow.
Yeah. Now he's the one that's throwing the wild punches. There's that left hook.
Yep.
Yeah. Joe's timing him. Oh, look. Notice that right hand to the head.
Back on his heels. Yep.
Oh, the body punch. Joe's having a really good round here. Really good round for Joe. Yeah, in my opinion, definitely. Now, not saying he would have won, but tactical error in my opinion for my Bonavina. Oh, yeah, he's getting beat up almost now here.
I'm gonna change my thumbnail here.
Watch, he misses with the jab. Joe slips it, and then Joe jabs his way in. Or it's Joe that ends up landing the 1-2. Look at that. You see how jabbed him again.
I just changed my thumbnail, Doc. Are you on YouTube?
Yeah. What do we? Well, here, let me go see. What do we got here?
Shoulder to shoulder over here, man. Inside fighting at its finest.
Here we go. Yep. Joe even using his legs a little bit there.
My bad. Now we're good again. I can't do a show without background music. It drives me fucking crazy. I can, but I prefer.
I don't blame you.
And right now, I've discovered all this music you can play without getting flagged for. Most people don't even know it exists. I could probably make a living fucking selling this stuff to other YouTube channels.
And see, one thing also Joe's done this whole fight is he keeps throwing that right hand right on the belt line on Bonavina's hip. That was the classic Joe Frazier tactic. Hit the other guy on the hip and take the legs away.
Yep.
In fact, that's that old Philly tactic.
Take his fucking legs away. Yep, hit him on the hip. That's what fucking Jerry Coney was trying to do that to Larry Holmes. Instead he hit him in the nuts.
That's better. It's better for Bonavina when he just tries to be himself and brawls. And, I think and see how he's trying to box, and he ends up getting like Joe gets right inside on him.
Yep. You don't want to hook with a hooker. Oh, Frazier just got a nice uppercut in there.
Well, that's why I said it sounds counterintuitive, but looking at the footage, Bonavina had way more success when he hooked with the hooker. I mean, hey, maybe it would have got him knocked out, but I think it would have given him his best chance.
Yeah, he's definitely he likes to get inside. He should stay on the outside, but there's no way.
Well, when he tries to stay outside, Joe just easily jabs his way in, anyways. Because Bonavina, I mean, people used to call Joe limited, but hey, he's leagues above Bonavina in a box. You know what I mean? In like from a like amateur style point of view, because Joe at least has the background and he understands it.
No, he's typical Argentinian. You know how they say a Mexican fighter, a black fighter,
Right?
yeah. He fights that Argentinian style, you know.
Yep.
Monzon was a little more polished, but like the Hugo Coro, you know, the Mediana, that they just
Right.
that hands high, come for bang, 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 bang all the time.
Yep. And a lot of wild punches, but tough as nails, and usually hard punches. And then you had the one oddball, wasn't Nicolino Loche also from Argentina?
He just passed away a few days ago.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
I mean, people hate it when I say this sometimes. I don't know why, but I wouldn't have guessed he was still alive. If I, you know what I mean? I hadn't heard about him in a long time.
I'm a doom and gloom kind of a guy, Doc. I always, hey, Nicolino Loche, hey, he just died the other day. Oh,
right. That's another one, right?
I'm that fucking black cloud that always fucking comes in on it whenever there's a picnic. Hey, Reggie Owens, my brother, salute to you, man.
What's up?
Reggie Owens, we're talking about Joe Frazier up here, my brother.
Yeah, Joe. Oh man, Joe's just jabbing the shit out of Bonavina now. Oh, see, there it is again, just jabbing the shit. You see it, and then there's that right hand to the hip.
Yep. Right. Always ends up with that right hand to the hip.
Yeah. See, Bonavina. I mean, I'm telling you, it sounds. And I'm sure his trainers were thinking, I know what they were thinking, right? You don't want to go sugging, like you said, you don't want to hook with Joe Frazier. But I think the footage speaks for itself. He had better success when he brawled with him, because that's Bonavina's natural style.
That's his forte. He's a fucking bull.
Yep.
I mean, who was the original fucking bull of the Panthers, right? Fucking Furpo.
Yeah, Furpo.
Jack Dempsey. He knocked Jack Dempsey through the ropes way, way, way back in the day.
I don't even hide it. I'm one of those sadistic fans that laughs when I see one of them.
I'm pissed off at Argentinians right now. I had a guy that was doing work around my house from Argentina. And he kind of fucking stopped coming over. And, I mean, we're even with cash and everything, but he still had a couple of ends to tighten up, and he's fucking laying low on me, so fuck them Argentinians, man.
Didn't finish the job, in other words?
Exactly.
I got you.
You know, and it's funny because his partner lives right down the street from me, and I walk by him with the dog, you know, a couple of times a week, and he tries to avoid me when he sees me. I'm like, hey, Johnny. Oh, hey, Bruce. With
sorry, gotta go, Bruce. In a hurry.
This morning I said, hey, tell your boss, don't even call me. I got somebody else to finish the fucking work you guys didn't finish. He was like, okay, Bruce, okay. I said, no problem, John. You know, just lose my number.
Lose my number.
I had a bunch of work for him to do around here, but hey, fuck it, man. I'll get somebody else.
They must have felt like they got enough money out of you. They
must have, man. I don't understand it, bro. I even gave him a couple of joints while they were working. Like I used to give him bottles of water and shit, man.
Well, at least I mean, look on the bright side. At least, like you said, you're square. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he's got some big dollar jobs. He was going to get a big dollar job here, but they couldn't get the permit because I'm so close to the water. So I said, well, listen, why don't you guys do this and do that? And, you know, I think they wanted to stick with the big dollar. But, hey, he's the one who told me he couldn't get the permit. He had to get a fucking engineer. It cost him $5,000 and that. I said, forget it. Stop that job.
Yeah, that sounds like code for, I'm sorry, but I got something that's going to pay me way more.
Yeah, I got that feeling, but hey, bro, but fucking Viva Argentina over here, man.
Now, let me ask you this. If he had just come out and told you, hey, man, these guys are offering, you know what I mean? It's some, you know, whatever. You know what I mean? Would that have made the situation any more palatable at least?
I don't know, man. I go with the flow. They got a lot of work got done, but I did want to get some other stuff done. But you know, it was just a guy and an old man. You know, so not much really they could have done that I couldn't do myself. But you know, hindsight is 20/20. Business is business. Life goes on, and I ain't got no fucking physical attachment to him or anything like that. You know, it's only awkward for this dude because he's got to see me walk by. You know, with my dog a few times a week, where he's got to go and fucking disappear. I just maybe I won't even say. I'll just wave to him and not even saying it to him. But I'm not that kind of a guy that can walk by somebody without saying something.
Right.
And when he was in here, I was doing one of my shows one day, and he's like, "Whoa!" He's like really impressed. And so I told him to check it out, and he watched a couple of shows. And then I told him today, I said, "Hey, well, I'm going to give you guys a review on my YouTube show." And he got like, "Whoa." Because they don't know what YouTube is, man, They think I'm on fucking ABC Studios or something over here, These guys don't know it. They come in, they see this camera and the fucking monitors, and it's like, whoa, what is this guy? CIA or fucking KBG or some shit?
Bruce Cosell.
Yeah, fucking the 21st century Howard Cosell. Here we go. Now Joe's digging in now. Joe's got his feet planted. He's on his fucking toe.
That was Bonavina. See, Bonavina brawled with him that round, and that was more. I don't know whether or not Bonavina won that. He at least it was more competitive. But he brawled with him, competitive.
We should have scored this fight because
in hindsight, yeah, I think Joe took a lot of these rounds where Bonavina tried to box with him. Big mistake in that. Again, like you said, hindsight's 20/20. Now Bonavina's digging that left hook to the bottom. Now, see what you don't try that. There you go. That's better, Bonavina. Brawl with him.
Tax, salute. Thank you for coming by. Yeah, Joe's starting to use those big shoulders of his, man. He's really starting to put some hurt on Bonavina. But Bonavina, man, he really hasn't been that. I think Frazier's been more hurt in this fight than Bonavina.
Yeah.
Bonavina seems to have, he has a lot of recuperative powers.
Yeah, that was his reputation, tough as nails. In fact, if memory serves, before the fight with Ali, he'd never been stopped.
And that's right, yeah. And that was a 3 knockdown rule in the 15th round, I believe. But now Oscar's starting to box Joe. Joe, he didn't like that. He kind of held on. He's starting to catch that jab.
Bonavina started to come on last round and this round. Bonavina's kind of come on a bit. After Joe seemed like he'd, kind of dominated, in my opinion, for a stretch there. Although as soon as I say that, Joe hits him with the right.
That was the thing about all the Joe Frazier fights at the time. I'm a guy that always went for the underdog, and Joe was just balling through the heavyweights, and they'd have these brief moments of glory, But then Joe always seemed to come on, and he was a great finisher.
He showed a lot of dimensions in this fight. Like he's also I've seen way more right hands from Joe in this fight than I think in any of his fights I saw in the 70s.
His right hand was almost non-existent.
Yeah. Look at that jab again, man. That's the jab from Joe Frazier in this fight's been a revelation.
Yep, but then he puts that head down, gets inside, and whack.
Yeah, he's done a really nice job the way he's kind of mixed them, Mixed them in. Yeah, see, Bonavina, he got the better of that when he brawled, but you don't stick to it. He backs out, and then Frazier clips him, see?
He got there with a right hand there.
Yeah, because he backed out. He got caught backing out.
Uppercut.
Yeah. Remember, sir, this is a 10-round fight. Yeah, sure enough, last round. again by Joe. Oh man, they're going. Oh, but they're both going for broke here. They both know the fight must be close.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. This was. Well, I think it was. One of the judges had it really weirdly scored. I'm gonna have to look at the scores in here. See if I can find the scores.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, now this was a split decision. One judge had it 6-4 for Bonavina. Another judge had it 8-5 Bonavina, 5-8 Bonavina, and then
Wait, that doesn't make sense. Oh,
Frazier 5-4. Yeah, 5-8. I don't see how they could have it. That's 13. I don't know, man, but I'm reading that right out of the deck right now.
That is a strange one. Okay. What is? I'm gonna guess that it was actually 2-8, which would be a terrible scorecard.
Yeah, that's what it must be 2-8. Yeah, that's a misprint in there.
I mean, unless we're both blind, I don't see no 2-8.
And they don't give them an extra point for the knockdown for 2 knockdowns in the round either.
Yeah, it looks like it must have been scored on a round. They did that sometimes. They scored it on a round basis. So it was literally just you would knock it down 3 times or whatever. It was just now if the fight came out a draw, then they would go to counting the knockdowns and the points and all that. The points supplementary, yeah. I know we're not.
That's why they use a 10-point must system now.
Right.
Even as opposed to the 5-point, because this way a round like that would have definitely been a 10-7 round.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, would it be a 10-8 round or a 10-7 round? I don't know. 10-7. So that would have made a difference. That would have made a difference in the scoring of this fight.
Yeah. Like, I mean, look at like an example of how it makes a difference with the Jorge Paez Calvin Grove fight. Paez knocked down Grove 3 times in the 15th round. The judges scored it 10-6. That's a huge, you know.
Hey, you know who I might have from that era coming on here and talking to us? Fucking Troy Dorsey.
Oh wow! Speaking of Jorge Paez, I bet he's got some bitter. Now you probably don't. Okay, yeah, Bruce, don't bring up. You might want to not bring up Jorge Paez.
Well, he did have a draw with him once.
Yeah, but he was. Him and his trainer, to my recollection, were very salty both times, and understandably.
Oh, you look at his record, it's like, wow, Kevin Kelly and fucking Oscar.
Yeah, fought everybody from that era.
Everybody. Well, he doesn't have the most impressive looking win-loss record, but man, the names on there.
Mm-hmm. No, I remember both the Troy Dorsey fights on ABC, man. Yeah, both times.
Let me bring this back a bit here.
Carry the bout. Johnny Addy with the decision. Judge Joe Effie has it 5-4, 1 even for Frazier. Referee Mark Kahn 6-4 for Frazier. Nick Ganguly scores 5 rounds for each boy. Points 7-5. Points favor of Bonavena. The winner by a split decision, Joe Frazier.
Man, I love Johnny Addy. I love Johnny Addy, but he kind of botched announcing the split decision, didn't he? because he gave the 2 winning scores for Frazier first.
That-
But did you notice what he said though about it was the guy that had it for Bonavina had it even in rounds, and then he said, but on points he has it for Bonavina.
Yeah. He had it. He was closer to this crazy scoring in boxing rec. I think he said it was
7-5 on points was what he announced.
And he gave away the ending before. He was just really smooth.
Johnny Addis is, you know what I mean? He's a Hall of Fame.
He
You know
blew
what I mean? That one. But yeah, crazy good. But Guts by Frazier, man. Down twice early, comes back. You know what I mean? Say what we want. At the end of the day, he got that W. Have you seen the Frazier Bugner fight?
No. We'll get that one.
Underrated fight, just in Frazier. Period. That's an underrated fight in my opinion.
Frazier and Joe Bugner. Did they fight once or twice?
Once.
Do I have? Let me check my settings on here too. So I think I hear an echo. No, the echo's on. Should be good. We just turn that down a bit. All right. There we go. Okay, here we are. We don't want highlights. We want the fight, bro. That's we're fight people here, man. 1973. Let's see which one will be the. Well, we already borrowed one of your fights earlier, so if we're gonna get copywritten, we might as well get it from this guy here. Boxing legend, shout out to you. We're using this for educational and entertainment purposes only. Me and my brother, Mr. Doc, up here. Lifelong Joe Frazier fans. Hey, Derek Bailey, salute to you, bro. We're gonna show the Joe Frazier versus Joe Bugner. Wait a minute here, man. I know why it's not going. Maybe if I turned it on, it would be a little better here. Battling Bugner. What is this here? We don't need that.
Oh wow, they got the documentary and everything.
Yeah, we'll get beyond that here, man.
I mean, that is pretty cool for future reference to know that that's out there.
Putting the stadium together.
Yeah, that's Earl's Court over there in the UK.
Okay. And there we see.
I see. Look, they got the bobbies. The bob with the bobby hat.
Yep. Eddie Futch, Georgie Benton.
And Yancey Durham's still alive at this time.
Yeah, Yancey Durham too. That was his original trainer, wasn't it?
Yep.
Look at the sideburns there, man.
Oh wow, man! That guy is definitely styled.
That's a Danny Little Red Lopez sideburns there.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, he did. It kind of looked like him, didn't he? But see, this part I haven't seen before. The ring rock, the ring walks.
I only watched this fight once, maybe twice. I don't really remember that much about it. Lay down right there. I'll put you on a little bit.
This is really good quality footage too.
Mm. That's the beautiful thing about this internet, man. They get some good shit out there. These fights.
I always got to do the shout out to cigarette smoking in the venue.
Well, now we're in the age of vaping now. So
okay.
Any pothead who's worked any of their own salt, man, they got a vape in their pocket.
That's how they do it now. Is that allowed indoors? Okay.
Well, it's not allowed, but I mean, if you're good, you'll eat that hit of smoke. You won't. You'll blow out a little bit.
If you hold it in long enough, you can go unnoticed. Yeah.
Almost exactly. Almost nothing comes out.
Just don't. Yeah. Don't. Yeah, all you gotta do is don't be Puff the Magic Dragon. You know.
There you go. But those vapes are strong. I never really got into one of them. I've had like a couple of hits here and there, but I never sat back and did my. Eventually, I'm gonna maybe get one, break down. I like the edibles. I like the weed, and I like the concentrates. But the vape, hey, it's a whole new world out there for us weed heads, man. Joe Frazier with the pink trunks.
Well, they got like almost every strain you can imagine now available with the vape.
Oh,
you just do a little research, and you can find the ones that are there's the more pure ones, and there's ones that use like a little bit more lighter fluid. You know what I mean? And then that's kind of the main thing to look out for is. But I think at least in my state, see, they have to list that on the packaging. They have to tell you, right, what the ratio or the percentage is of. I can't remember what the substance is, right? But I think it's like related to lighter fluid or similar to it that they.
I just threw these away today, man. These are cleaning out on top of my desk. The edibles I have, they have the laboratory analysis on there.
I know, and I mean, like you said, that's another could you imagine that 10, 15 years ago? That if someone came and told you, oh, you're going to be able to go into this store and check this out, Bruce Guest, they tell you there's going to be this label that tells you the cannabinoid breakdown and you know what I mean, and all this stuff. It's like,
Doc, how tall is Joe Bugner? Reggie Owens says that's a tall.
Yeah, he's about 6'4". I'd say somewhere between 6'3". I think he's about 6'4", 6'5". He's a little taller than Ali was. But,
you know what's a little interesting fact about this? Joe Bugner not only fought Joe Frazier, but he fought Joe Frazier's son,
Harvest. Yeah.
In the 80s.
Yep.
But this was prime right here. This was a prime Joe Bugner.
Yeah. I mean, the for like in any other time, he would have been really damn good. I mean, look at the hand speed and the footwork just alone.
Yep, he's flashing out that jab, man.
And this was extremely he was an anomaly for European style fighters. Most European fighters didn't fight like they were more the upright classical boxers.
Yeah.
But I remember Cosell talking about that when Ali fought him the first time, right? He talked about how Bugner, he said that the reason he didn't fight like the traditional European boxers because his handlers made sure he came over to America and sparred with Frazier and Ali and all the, you know what I mean, any big name that would have it.
Oh man, that Joe is so talented though. He just came up with that uppercut. And, it looked like he was going to go to the body, and kind of in mid form, he switched it to an uppercut. Nailed Bugner. This was I think probably one of the best Joe Fraziers out there.
Yeah, I want to say now. Is this right? I want to say this is leading up to one of the Ali fights. I can't remember if it's. I want to say 3.
Let's see.
Because I feel like they both fought Bugner prior to 3. Because I remember Ali fought him in Kuala Lumpur.
This was after he got knocked out by Joe Frazier. Did he fight Bugner once or twice?
He only fought Bugner once.
Okay, yeah, this was in 1973. This was 6 months after he got knocked out by Joe Frazier. So this was
Foreman. Okay.
Oh, yeah, Foreman. I'm sorry, by Foreman. This is the tail end of his career, just before the Ali fight.
Okay, so it is right before the Thriller?
Right before the second fight.
Okay.
74 Madison Square Garden.
Gotcha. So that makes sense. Then that makes sense. He's fighting Bugner, who's kind of a stylist in the vein of Ali, but without the punch.
What Joe Frazier did from this point on in his career was all rematches until that comeback with Floyd Cummings. But yeah, he fought
Quarry, because he fought Quarry again and he fought Ellis again, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Ali again and
Foreman, like you said.
Big George. Yeah, his career didn't go out like we wanted it to. I mean, Corey and Ellis, that was as expected. But when he got to the upper echelon at the end of his career, poor Joe was blind. I mean, shit.
I know. He gets his resume and I mean, it's not like I mean, I can't say it's unfair completely. There are people that'll tell you that hey, he didn't fight Lyle or Shavers or and list off a bunch of guys, right? And it's like, okay, yeah, but it doesn't matter. He was integral. You couldn't have without Joe Frazier. That era is not nearly as great as it was.
No, and Joe Frazier, man, he took such beatings. He needed to rest. He needed months. Ali would bust his balls. He called him the 7-month champion. Defend his title once every 7 months. And today, shit, that'd be like fucking Henry Armstrong today. But,
and I remember I've heard multiple times that his training camps, and this is I've heard this about Philly fighters in general. The training camps were a lot of times took more out of them than the fights did.
Oh, wars! From what I understand, wars in those training camps. I'm going to talk to some Philly fighters in the near future. I'm gonna use my connections with Witherspoon to bring a few more names up here. And they went down to the Atlantic City Hall of Fame last weekend, and he was telling me they wanted me to go with him because they like the way I talk to these fighters, online, and they're doing a big YouTube channel. And he had like Michael Olajide down there, Michael Nunn.
Oh,
they all want to get on the show and they all want to do stuff, and he wants me on there with them. I'm like, all right, man, I'll definitely do that. And there's something in the next couple of weeks that's in New York, and it's going to have Mike Tyson's going to be there, Riddick Bowe's going to be there, Holyfield is going to be there. It's like a huge event with legend heavyweights. Witherspoon's going to be there, and he wants to do his channel, and he wants me going up there with him. And he's like, oh, Brian, I'll pick you up at your house and everything. I'm like, hey. All right, man. I said, I'm fucking 68 years old, so I'm going to need a few more things than these 20-year-old kids need.
You really are turning into Bruce Cosell, see?
But then I'm looking forward to fucking hitting the fucking Toka 2 with Mike Tyson. That's one of my fucking bucket list fucking things.
Oh, I was about to say that's got to be a lifetime achievement goal right there.
Oh yeah. That's why I'll pull it together. I don't care how many aches and pains I have that fucking weekend, Maybe I'll go see some of the Undesirables and get a fucking a Percocet or something to have in my back pocket in case the pain gets too bad. Hey, Freezing Boxing, salute, bro. Thanks for coming by, man.
Yeah, really good showing by Bugner. Very even fight.
Yeah.
Like you said, he'll piece them up, and then just when you think maybe Bugner's going to dominate the round, Frazier clips him with that. Like you said, he looks like he's going to the body, and he turns it into the headshot.
Yeah, Joe. I guess Joe really has something to prove after the knockout defeat to
Foreman. Yeah.
That was nobody ever expected that. That was down in Jamaica, man.
Mm-hmm.
They say Howard Cosell drove to the fucking fight with Joe Frazier and left the fight with George Foreman.
Oh, you mean King? Yeah, King. Yeah. He said Howard Cosell.
Oh fuck, man, dude, man.
Well, because I called you Bruce Cosell earlier, so it's not his fault.
Maybe I think my mind needs some fucking cleansing or something, man.
Nah, I knew what you meant.
Yeah, but I'm glad you're here, Doc. My main man.
Hey, thanks for having me. Look at that. Oh, there's Joe.
Joe's wearing those pop shots. It looks like he's putting any real fucking any real pressure on there, but they seem to be popping every time they hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. See, and that was Bugner's big flaw in his game is he didn't have any punch power. Or comparatively for a heavyweight, you know what I mean? Yeah. Obviously he's a big dude. He could, if he hit you square, but He wasn't known as a big puncher. He was more of a stylist.
He had a hell of a career too, man. He's got
He fought. Like you said, he's another one of those guys where you look at the resume right now. Say what you want about the win-loss record, but the resume, it's a who's who. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Current modern day heavyweights. Well, Tyson era heavyweights. Fucking all the way down to Ali era.
All the way back. Check this out. All the way back to Henry Cooper.
Yeah,
he beat Henry Cooper for I can't remember what they called it back then, but I think the British title or whatever.
Yeah, the British Empire champion. But yeah, Frank Bruno. That was like when that's why Britain never really took the Frank Bruno, because he beat Joe Bugner.
Well, that's funny. Bugner, they didn't like Bugner though either. They didn't like Bugner either.
Yeah.
That's why he moved to Australia later on. He said, "Screw you guys, I'm going to go." And then he turned when he would fight, they called him Aussie Joe Bugner. Basically, he did that as an FU to the UK.
Hey, he fought one of Rhode Island's famous fighters, man, a guy named John Dino Dennis.
Oh, I know. I've seen that name. I've seen that name on a lot of resumes.
He's from Providence, Rhode Island. He used to fight at the Civic Center. I saw him fight an exhibition with Ali. And he's fought like Scott Ledoux, George Foreman. Who the hell else did he fight? He fought a bunch of. He fought Jerry Cooney.
Oh wow! Okay, right on.
And he was giving Cooney a boxing lesson until Cooney started popping him with a tremendous left hook.
Yeah. That jackpot left hook at Cooney's, man.
But he was a local hero until I think it was the George Foreman fight. He got that title fight, and he got destroyed. I'm not even sure if it was a title fight. It might have been after the Rumble in the Jungle. But yeah, man, he was an opponent of Joe Bugner. And bro, I mean, during that stretch, he fought Marvis Frazier, Anders Eklund, Stephen Tankstead, who was an opponent of Michael Spinks.
Yep.
And Tim Witherspoon. And he fought James Tillis. He fought the Dancing Bear, David Bay, Greg Page. And that's like the end of Ernie Shavers, Ron Lyle.
The Shavers, he was on HBO. I think that's like one of the few times he got knocked out or got stopped. Was the Shavers fight.
Early in the fight.
He got hit with that uppercut, and then I remember him. I think he got cut on top of that or something like that.
And that was like late in Shavers' career too. Shavers had already been been through the middle a little too. That was after Shavers had been beaten twice by Larry Holmes.
Man, the punch output in this fight is crazy for heavyweights. That's another thing I noticed when we watch these 70s heavyweight fights, man. A lot more punches thrown.
Oh yeah.
Even by the defensive fighters, you know what I mean? They threw more punches than what you see today.
Oh, can you imagine like an Andy Ruiz out there? I mean, it's just not the same. Those guys will today.
Oh man, no, dude. Okay, Andy Ruiz, he would be food for Joe Bugner. There's no way he'd catch Joe Bugner, man. Joe Bugner's he's gonna spin around that guy all night, popping that jab in his face, crossing the right hand over, making him look silly. There's no way.
Random acoustic thoughts, bro. Shout out to you, my brother. Peace. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate the view.
Like maybe.
Doc, is that a ring card boy?
Yeah, boo, UK, our old man. In fact, what is this?
What
UK?
the fuck?
What are we doing here? Talk about behind the times, huh?
I'll tell you.
I did not realize they weren't nearly so enlightened in the 70s.
And it looked like he ripped a case of beer and fucking took a magic.
Dude, it looks like the janitor. Looks like the janitor came in and is like the guy.
Okay, Paps, come on, Pappy. We got a job to do. You're not done yet. No, Joe Bugner, definitely a very distinguished career.
Yeah, a lot of talent. Had a lot of talent. Just kind of got caught in the wrong era for one thing.
All these names I'm seeing, like Rudy Lubbers, Jurgen Blind, Europeans' finest fighters, Leroy Caldwell, Larry Middleton. I mean, these are like the guys that
Larry Middleton, I know Middleton. Middleton fought guys like Norton and Swan and them cats. He was in the mix, kind of like that second tier. Now there's a crazy fight. Also, we're getting off topic here, but a crazy fight for a future show, maybe Bruce Gas, Kenny Norton, Scott Ledoux.
Oh, that was that was a favorite fight of mine for so many different reasons too, man. That was a killer fight, and the ending, man, they had a riot at the end of it.
Oh, it's so that fight's got so many things. You know what I mean? It's almost like a movie. Like you could,
The referee fucked up bad at the end.
That's what we should be probably. Let's not give it away. Save it, Bruce. Put it in the vault for you know what I mean, for future use.
That's a good one. I think we showed that on Mad Chads once about a year ago, but definitely bring that one back up again.
Or we could do, or better yet, maybe you could do, if you were so inclined, Bruce Gas, you could do either or both at some, on different times. Kenny, like we're doing Joe Frazier, do Kenny Norton or Scott Ledoux for that matter, because they both had, had so many great fights.
Hey, Derek Clark, salute my brother.
Big up, sir. Big up. Yes. Man, no one else. I'm surprised no one else got it. I'm surprised Roland didn't jump on here. Yeah, this I gotta be honest, man. Like probably the last almost going on a year now. This is my favorite boxing shit on YouTube. What we're doing right here, watching these old fights and talking about that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong. Like when the big fights happen, right? I'm still interested, right?
I was talking about the big fights, the fights that are happening all day long, and I said, take a little break here, and take me back a little bit, and appreciate some of the real OGs in this world of boxing, and especially the fucking rest in peace, Joe Frazier.
Man, and look at this is another thing I'm impressed by is Bugner's stamina, because he's kept this up for how many rounds? Now 6-7 rounds.
Yeah, he hasn't hugged. He hasn't held on at all.
Yep. And he's kept off the ropes for the most part.
He's definitely the G for sure, man.
Look at that nice slip by Bugner for a tall guy like that to get under the hook. He clipped that time, but hey, you're gonna get hit.
And that was the odd right hand too.
Yeah.
Stanley Christodoulou, it looks like the referee.
Yeah. Bugner's a classic example, in my opinion, of. Well, again, I don't think it would have mattered if he had put it together. So I was going to say he's one of the, got all these great tools, the footwork, the hand speed. You know what I mean? The chin, good size on him, right? Good reach and everything. Yeah.
Who's that referee? You know who that is?
Is that Stanley Christodoulou?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can tell just by the way he's hunchback, the way he walks around.
Okay.
I'm sure it is. I don't know for sure. I don't know, 100%, but I'm looking at it. I'm saying.
Okay, now you got. Okay, I'll be your Huckleberry. I'll look it up. Let's see. Referee, because I do believe this is one of those. Oh no, this is the UK. Okay, but it is a name you'll recognize. Harry Gibbs. Yeah, that's Harry Gibbs. Yep.
Wow.
And this is over in the UK back in the days when. The ref all alone was the sole arbiter, the sole scorekeeper.
I remember those fights. The ref would, in fact, they wouldn't even go to a scorecard. As soon as the bell rang,
he just left a hand. Yep.
Man, that's a blast from the past.
Yep. And see, the infighting, the in skills from both of them. You know, like the way they use the elbow, like the way Bugner just used the elbow there, kind of push Joe down so we could get away.
Now, who do you think is a better fighter, Bugner or Helenius?
Oh, no, you're just now you're instigating, Bruce.
Oh, they're both these tall Nordic warriors, no?
No.
Oh.
Oh, Joe's getting to him there a little bit on the ropes finally. Sat on the ropes a little too long, Bugner. Hey, look, get back to it, you know. He's sticking to his tactics. And again, this guy's 6'4", 6'5", with that kind of hand speed. These were athletes. You know what I mean?
Oh, Bugner was absolutely something special.
Yeah.
For the opponents that he's fought, the distinguished career that he's had, and I'll bet he's still alive. I don't remember hearing that he passed away.
Yeah, if he did pass, he passed very recently. Because I remember, I feel like I've seen him around talking to somebody, you know what I mean, on a boxing video in passing not too long ago. Oh, Frazier digging them body shots, man, the left hooks to the body. Oh, Bugner won't. He just won't. He ain't gonna give it up though. He ain't gonna.
Nope.
He ain't gonna go out like that, Joe. He ain't gonna go out like that.
No, Joe was walking back to the corner.
And then notice how they got the stools are attached to the ring post, and they just swing in.
Yeah.
Kind of a cool. I've never seen that anywhere else.
I've seen it recently.
Oh, really?
But you see it mostly in amateur fights, like in the I don't know if you get like Boston boxing. You know, it's like continuous fighting. It's on YouTube.
Huh.
I can't even remember the names of the sites, but yeah, they have like a continuous boxing, and it's a lot of amateur stuff, a lot of stuff from Europe, a lot of professional stuff. I don't even know who the fighters are, but they have that stool that just kind of slides out. Wait, a little bit longer. Please sit down. My dog's eyeballing me.
Yeah. He's saying, what do you mean I can't be on the show?
Who's that?
Oh, more body punches by Frazier. Oh, Bugner, what are you? You got to get out of there, bud. You're getting lit up. Oh, great round for Joe. Great round for Joe here.
Well, this is the precursor to the Thriller in Manila.
Yeah. Bugner's that makes sense as the opponent choice to prepare for. You know what I mean? Ollie. Because he has a lot of similar attributes, but he doesn't have, you know, a very big punch.
Well, this is just before the rematch with Ali.
Yeah.
There was anticlimactic. I mean, they both caught those crazy defeats. Hey, El Pinche, salute, bro. You know, Ali, that one with
Norton.
With Ken Norton and Frazier, his demolition by Foreman. So that was they were destined to have that rematch. that was going to be signed, and then a mandatory defense against this undefeated kid out of Texas.
Yeah, it just upended everything. Yep. Yeah. It ended up being. I think it ended up being for the NABF.
Yeah.
The second fight.
Mm-hmm.
That's if you're like when you were talking earlier about the schedule that Ali kept back in them during that period. One of the few breaks is I think it's between the rematch with Frazier, if memory serves, and when he fights Foreman, because that was basically the NABF. Basically, kind of was what you know what I mean. I guess you might whatever you call it nowadays. It was basically kind of like a mandatory or the equivalent of it.
Well, like there was the NABF and the USBA. And and one was associated with the WBC, the other was associated with the WBA. But yeah, they were like the that was kind of like the mandatory, basically number one contender. They'd be very important title. Where today it's such a fucking small.
I can't remember the last time I've even seen. I mean, is the NABF even around anymore?
Yeah, no. There's still somebody's making a buck out there with it. But it'll be back in these days, these were seasoned veterans fighting for that title. Right now it'll be
right. Think about that. It doesn't get bigger than Ali Frazier for your for a mandatory belt.
Really, for the North American fucking Boxing Federation Heavyweight Championship for the world.
Yep.
And it was. Those were considered regional titles, so they were scheduled for 12 rounds, where now, and a world title was scheduled for 15 rounds.
Yep.
And those were the killer times, man. Those fucking 15 rounds. But Joe Frazier, he was stamina personified. He just kept coming at you.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, these guys had to be athletes to go 15 rounds.
It's amazing how George Foreman just had Joe Frazier's number, because he went up against a lot of other big punches, but George Foreman just crumbled him. I mean, down goes Frazier. That day, man, that referee, that looks like Stanley Christodoulou, but I know we said it's now. Who did you say it was?
Harry Gibbs.
Harry Gibbs.
Yep. Yeah, let me make sure here if it's the guy. Yeah, if it's the guy I'm thinking of, he did lots of reffing and judging over in the UK.
Flashbulb.
Oh, cool! I see. They got this. Is like, what do we got here? Oh, they got I can pull up a list of the fights that he refereed. Interesting.
Oh, I've heard the name before.
Yeah, so we got some. Ooh.
Look at Joe's beating the fuck out of
Bugner.
Fuck out of Joe Bugner now.
Oh, left them body shots, man, just ripping the body.
And it looks like he's busting his face up too. Oh yeah, this is the perfect opponent for somebody like Frazier. I mean, he was tough, but now that the Joe's all warmed up, and I mean, he's just doing a job on Joe Bugner.
Well, and then Bugner is starting to slow down, understandably, after all that, 8 rounds of perpetual motion. Oh, yeah, the body shots, man. Ugh. How he's been taking them body punches is beyond me.
There's the ring card man again.
Yeah, the ring card janitor. Man, 70s UK, you needed to step your game up, man. I don't know what you were doing over there, but
I'm surprised they throwing fucking bottles at him.
Now, see, because I had always heard, and it was always kind of maybe this is a what do you call it, a cliche or a misnomer. I had always heard that they were much more, you know what I mean? What would you call it, liberal or whatever in Europe?
Oh yeah, for sure, bro.
But they're not looking. That ain't looking liberal. You know what I mean? That looks. But like, you know what I mean? Who's making that ring card decision?
Really, man, that was
Jerry Falwell. I mean, I'm making jokes.
possibly. Oh, Joe.
There's that right hand out of nowhere.
Oh, you know what's an interesting fact too that I read it earlier? Joe Frazier sang the national anthem at the
Oh yeah, the Spinks
Muhammad Ali
match.
Spinks match. Remember that one?
Yeah, he does a good job, Bruce. He does a good job.
Oh, look at Joe! Look at Joe doing the Ali, man. He's bouncing
Yeah.
long combinations.
Well, yeah. He's had success when he's been able to do that. When he can stay off the ropes and like you say, keep it long, so to speak. But he just like you said earlier, every now and then it just inevitable. Joe eventually at some point touches him with either a wicked body shot or one of them left hooks.
Oh yeah, I mean this is a razor thin fight over here, and especially with Joe being in hostile territory.
Yeah, on the road. Yep.
Coming off of a loss, he's probably wondering himself if he's still got it.
Oh, you got to imagine, right? Like Bugner's thinking, "Hey, man, if I could beat Frazier, I could step into his shoes and man, I'll fight Ali. You know what I mean? And fight him. I'll be the one to fight him for the chance to fight for him." I think. Sorry, go ahead.
No, he never had a shortage of opponents.
No.
And you notice they have the same color gloves.
Yep. Same brand and everything.
Yep. Everlast.
Yeah. They would set up a big pile of Everlast gloves, basically, right? And they would both camps would sit there in front of each other, pick out which set they liked from this pile of Everlast gloves, and that was that. That was your glove choosing, you think, and around this time they still would often glove them up in the ring too, Bruce.
Yeah. Yep. They may have to start doing that again too. Who knows, man? I know boxing needs an overhaul because everybody that wants to get into boxing, they know how crooked it is. Fans.
Because I do like it. I kind of like it better in the ring because then not only do you because what they would do is you glove your guy up in your corner and one guy from the opposing corner would come over and just watch. You know what I mean? Like that was just protocol. But importantly, like you're kind of saying, everybody in the arena is watching the guy that's watching. You know what I mean? Is seeing right in front of them, watching it play out. So we all basically have a better collective certainty that there's no funny business. That's my theory, anyway. So.
I put something up today about the lack of boxes. The inactivity. I put up a poll in my community page today. I got 31 votes. And 87% think that boxers are too inactive today. I got a list that I found online. Listen to this, man. These are the fighters who only fought once this year. Spence, Jamel Charlo, Boots Ennis, Hank, Wilder, Fulton, Thurman, Zoo, Benavides, Plant, Stanionis, Taylor, Akoli, AJ, Usyk, Lomachenko, Inouye, Virgil Ortiz, Navarrete,
wow, man,
Oscar Valdez, Zapata, Akhmadulov, and Akoa.
So basically, I mean, it's like that's like a huge chunk of like the guys that the sport needs to. These are the guys the sport needs to be getting out there 3 and 4 times a year, and at least maybe 2 of them in front of go ahead, make it knockover jobs, but put it like on a really easy, you know what I mean, easy to find, free. You know, I know there's no free TV anymore, but you know what I'm trying to say, Bruce. An easy for the sport, a casual sport, for an easy outlet for the casual sports fan to find. Where, you know what I mean? Where they ain't got to hunt around, or you know what I mean, any of this nonsense, or my old man don't got to call me up and say, hey, how the hell do I watch friggin' Crawford Porter? And you know what I mean? But,
Joe just went down.
Took a knee. Yep, left hook.
But you know, you're so right, and we're looking at the top stars in boxing fighting once a year. How is a sport going to survive like that?
Yeah. Especially when it's that many guys that, like I said, these are all of those names are guys that to me, yeah, like especially the younger ones like Boots and whatnot. These guys need to be out here 3 and 4 times a year. You know what I mean? Even if it has to be, like I said, put Boots on. Go ahead and have him knock out 5-6 guys. You know what I mean? In a year, but make it so it's where it's easy for everyone.
Sharp. It keeps them sharp.
Yeah, and it keeps them in people's minds. You know. Yeah.
I thought Joe just got tagged with a nice counter right hand.
Yeah, he did. Stopped him in his tracks.
Oh.
Look at this. They got to run out of the ring and pull them apart.
yeah, what the fuck was that? That was the end of the 10th round. We still got the 11th and 12th to go here.
Yeah. Crazy back and forth fight. This is like I said, this is a really underrated fight from the 70s.
There we go. We're gonna see that knockdown. Boom! Left hook.
Oh, and watching just delayed reaction even.
Crumble.
Oh, Joe almost. Oh boy.
Joe could have folded him in half. Folded him in half like a fucking cheap fucking lounge chair and taking him home. It was. If he had just hit him with a left hook to the body when Butler was standing there doing the fucking boogaloo shuffle.
Yeah, well, did you see him hesitate? He almost did. He wound up. He was gonna. Yeah. If he'd hit him with that one while he was halfway down, I mean, hey. And this is a close fight. Close fight, you know.
Razor thin, I believe.
And as you rightly pointed out, he's on the road, man. You know. They're not trying to put him over. They're trying to make their hometown guy by saying, hey, he was able to beat Joe Frazier.
There's only one voter here. There's only one vote for the outcome of the fight.
Right? And guess where he's from? Yeah,
it's amazing that Joe got this victory. I don't know if it was for sentimental reasons or what, but
I think the knockdown is the crux of it at this point, anyways. Now this is another one we probably should have. Well, I always feel like we need like a panel. I always like doing that when there's like a panel. You know what I mean?
Hey man, this is giving me an idea. Maybe we should do something like this on a weekly basis or something. Pull up one of our favorites and pick
a fighter from the past like this and find their classics.
You're right, Doc. You're fucking right, man. You think?
Yeah, we did Quarry last week, right? Wasn't it last week?
I can't remember.
Or was it the week before? It was recently, though. It was recently.
We pull them up all the time.
Yep.
But we can do it as a panel, like you said. A lot of times I just do them by myself, or you come up here with me sometimes. I've done Norton. I did Curtis Parker.
Oh wow! There you go.
I did Quarry. I did Tim Witherspoon. Mm-hmm. That's how I met him. He saw the thing and he fucking contacted me.
Oh, right on. Yeah, these are people. These people should be boxing royalty. They should be boxing royalty, man.
We could do lighter weights. We could do middle weights. We could go to featherweights. The Lopez era. We could kick ass. There would never be a shortage of top.
Oh, there's an interesting one, Finito Lopez.
Yeah, or even I was thinking more of the line of Danny Little Red Lopez.
Okay, yep. Salvador Sanchez, all that little mix of featherweights and bantamweights at that time.
Yep.
What's my man's name? Bazooka that fought Sanchez.
That was fucking Gomez.
Bazooka Gomez. Yeah, because there was Bazooka Gomez and there was Bazooka Lamone.
Yeah.
Like, sorry,
Raphael was Lamone.
And I think they might have called like Corday Bazooka too. But
Yeah. Well, he dropped fucking Purnell like a bazooka, didn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, was it Oscar? Was it Oscar that dropped a Purnell?
Oh no, it was Oscar. Yeah, I think it was Oscar. Yep. And then Oscar had that big round where he did everything but drop Cordy. And Cordy barely did enough to really keep himself from getting stopped. But that was a great fight. I'll tell you what, more than the decision, I didn't mind so much. This is one of those funny things. I didn't mind. I wasn't irritated with Oscar. I wasn't an Oscar hater. When he got him getting the decision, yeah, okay, whatever. I kind of thought maybe Cordy won, but whatever, cool enough. But when Merchant asks him, and I'm paraphrasing a little, but Merchant asks him, are we going to see a rematch? Right? This was a great fight, and Oscar gets this completely prickish smile on his face, and he looks at Larry Merchant dead in the eyes, and he says, "Do you really think this was a great fight?" And Larry Merchant's like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Nah," and Oscar's like, "Yeah, this wasn't a great fight." And you know what I mean? He did everything but say, "No, I ain't gonna fight this guy again." And that is what he lost me there. He didn't. I wasn't mad at the decision. But come on, man. How do you, even if you don't plan on fighting the guy, don't be like mad about it. He made himself a villain for me, anyways, from that point on.
Yeah, there were a few fighters that would be like that on rematches.
Yeah.
Well, I already beat him. I don't think I need to go. Sugar Ray Leonard was like that. He didn't do a lot of rematches until he Duran and.
That Hearns fight took talk about a rematch taking way too long to happen. They should have rematched back when they were still welterweights. I mean, that's the real deal. That's what should have happened. I mean, if you want to get really real about it, it should have been, if anything deserved an immediate rematch, it was that thing. That was going to be
an eyeball hanging out of his head. I mean,
Hey, didn't stop him from fighting a couple more times. And now I am of the opinion that the damage, at least the starting of the damage of the eye, was in that Hearns fight. Because if you look at it, right, he's got like this hematoma by the time the fight's ending, his eye's closing. And remember Angelo telling him, "You're blowing it, son"? Yeah.
I believe it was his left eye. It was a slit.
Yep, from that Hearns jab.
2 minutes, boy. 2 minutes. Relax.
Man, and Bugner, I'll tell you what, Bugner's had a big rally ever since he got knocked down. And I think that's probably where the fight got really close, was down the stretch here. Yeah, I think maybe if we're thinking from a cynical point of view, right, which we like to do, Bruce, I think the knockdown kind of made it to where there would have been too much outrage if they'd kind of sniffed Joe Frazier. You know what I mean? At that time, because he had a lot of fans. You know what I mean?
Sentimental favorite.
For sure. So even Ali said, "I like Joe Frazier deep down." He was one of those guys. Like I think Foreman put it best, right? He says, "I got however many kids, right?" And he said, "There's always one. There's always two, right? And one of them can't take a joke, and the other one cannot help himself but poke at that. You know what I mean? Because he knows he can't take a joke. He cannot help but, you know what I mean, fuck with it." And it's just, that's just, you get that happens with personalities. Because, you know what I mean? The guy that's I guess the simple way to put it, oh, wow, there you go. Joe just got his hand raised. Now, the official scorecard, now that it's over, I had this pulled up. The official scorecard, to your point, it was 59 3/4 to 58.5 for Joe Frazier. And so by my math, so 3/4 of a point, not even a full point, Frazier
My,
was.
and in my boxing record says 59 1/4 to 58 1/2.
That's what
So
I'm saying. Yeah, yeah. 59 1/4 to 58 1/2.
3/4 of a point.
Yep. Yep. 3/4 of a point.
This is boxing. This is the sport we love, and this is the shit that goes on. Look at Frazier's eye. I'm looking at the
Oh, after the yeah, he got hit with a lot. Bugner hit him with a lot of punches, man. You know, but this is okay. Going back to something we talked also about Frazier, the short career, right? And maybe if like some of his critics might say, okay, at times selective matchmaking, or whatever. The bottom line is that style of fighter. We all know that style of fighter has a short shelf life, especially in terms of like a prime, like really and truly, the furthest, in my opinion, you can talk about Mike Tyson, and in my opinion, I think of him as the real Mike Tyson. The furthest I can stretch it is those two Reddick fights. And I feel like I'm even stretching it, being kind of nice to Mike doing that. You know what I'm saying? Because he had that intense, right? Come forward, a lot of legs and knees and back work, doing that bobbing and weaving, right? And the training for that, I'm sure, is also equally intensive on the knees and the back. Those kind of fighters typically, they did not last long. It's just the way it is. The stylists lasted longer for a reason. They didn't get hit. They didn't get hit it maybe even wasn't so much a matter of not getting hit as much, but they were flush and while they're coming in. Joe's getting hit flush and he's coming in when he's getting hit. You follow? So that's just it would be unrealistic to expect him to have 80 fights. Although the old timers, the guys that were old timers in Joe's day probably were like, they were probably hard asses and like, oh man, these lazy young fighters only fighting 4 times a year or 5 times a year.
Yeah, I mean, no, you look at Joe's record. I mean, 32 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. But the opponents that he fought in the back-to-back murderous rows, it was just one after another after another. I mean, it was a different era, and we'll never see that again. But
nah, man. Like the fight we just saw, right? This was a free TV fight. That was you just got this by here you go. You know what I mean? Here you go, free TV. Joe Bugner and Joe Frazier. Oh well.
and an L didn't mean that much. Your career went on.
No.
Everybody they realized back then there has to be a winner and a loser. It's professional boxing. Hey Doc, I gotta shut this down. My dog's
no problem, bro.
I mean, hey bro. I thank you so much for coming up here, bro. I had a good fucking time, man. We're definitely gonna have to do this again, my bro.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Peace out, Doc.
Peace.
Everybody out there, man. Bruce Gas, Boxing Jazz, and more. Thank you for coming in, for watching some classic fights with me and Mr. Doc. We're going to do this again, man. Peace out. God bless you, man.